What I'm gonna say right now might feel uncomfortable to you. If you have ever felt like, I don't know why that client didn't move forward after the call, then this video is what you really need to watch. Because most of the freelancers, they do not fail randomly. There is a pattern, but they never see that pattern because that pattern is too small and too hard to decode. So what might feel very normal to you is risky from the client's end, and that's what you are never gonna hear from the client. Like, a client is never gonna say to you that, hey, I'm not moving forward with you because I was feeling uneasy or your work ethic was a proper mess. The client is just gonna randomly disappear, and you will never find out the root cause until you try to. Once you realize these mistakes, you would see that your bad luck wasn't actually luck at all. It was all the way you were presenting, you were positioning, and you were delivering yourself. So in this video, I'm just gonna tell you about the reasons. I'm not gonna offer a solution for sure, but I want you to sit down with it, analyze it, and figure out yourself that these were the things that you were doing wrong, and then figure out yourself how you are gonna solve them, because that's what is gonna make you better than the average competitor that you have. You would literally blow them off the water if you sort this thing out. I know these trust leaks because I have sat as a client on the calls with freelancers, and most of the times I found out this was the issue. And I myself, since I'm a freelancer, so I sit on the other side of the call as well, where I'm dealing with a client, and I make sure that I don't make these mistakes. The number one trust leak is not very clear what happens next. You get on a call, you do everything on a call, you really like the client likes you, everything is sorted, but after the call, you don't take the pain to reach out to the client has no idea what's gonna happen, there is no timeline, no nothing. Most people just get on the call, sort that thing out over with the client, answer their questions, but what about the post-call flow? What about that? How are you gonna deal with that? You need to tell the client. So the client has no idea what's gonna happen after the call, and that's your job to give them an idea what's gonna happen after the call. And think of yourself, what all you can send to the client after the call, even if they have decided not to move forward with you, even if they have decided to move forward with you, or even randomly, like what are you gonna do? The second trust leak is explaining the work and not the working. As a client, I really do not care about the work that you are gonna do, because I already know hundreds of other people will do the same work. What I want to know that differentiates you is how are you going to actually work. I want to know the process of your working. I want to know how you are going to communicate, how long it's going to take, what is your thought process behind it, how we are going to be benefited from it, how long it is going to take to you, how many revisions are you going to do, what would be the tool set that you would be using for that, and stuff like that. I want to know the working, especially on the first call. I really want to know everything about your work process, because I have no idea about it, and I have no intent of stealing your work process, because if I would have to do that, I would just have done everything myself and we would not be having this call. Most freelancers get this thing absolutely wrong. If I'm hiring a graphic designer, the graphic designer is telling me that they are going to make me 20 graphics a month, duh, I know that. What I need you to tell me is, how are you going to map this thing out? What is your usual wireframe time, like when you will just give me the skeleton of the entire thing? How is the revision going to happen? How many revisions are free? After how many revisions do I have to pay? What is your source of getting the sources for the images? Are you gonna just randomly take anyone, or do you have a certain thing for that? All these things I wanna know. The third trust leak is inconsistent communication rhythms, and this is what, even when I was a freelancer, I used to do it as well, but I'm seeing this very often nowadays. People are operating on their emotional wavelength. So when they are feeling good, they are super active, they are hyperactive. When they are feeling low, they are just ghosting people for 1 or 2 straight full days. You are sleeping between 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. on a working Wednesday. That is not good, because everyone who is reliant on you is now bottlenecked and chalked out because you decided to take an afternoon nap because something in your life was happening and you succumbed to it, and now everyone else who was reliant on you is hung out and dry. That's a very big problem, and you need to solve it. You need to have a consistent rhythm that I know that if I reach out to you within the next 15, 20, 30 or 1 hour, you are going to reply me. It should not be like I am just texting you and I am just like uncertain about when is this guy again gonna respond back to me. If that is the case, you are losing trust, and when you lose trust, you cannot make it a retainer. You will just be a one-off guy every single time with every client that you will work. The fourth trust leak, which many people think that they are doing a very good thing here, is regarding flexibility. Vague timelines. Instead of just saying I'll be doing this by this particular date and disguising it as flexibility. I don't care about you being flexible. When you say that we'll figure it out on the go, duh, I am scared. Like, you know how that sounds to me? If somebody I'm gonna hire, I'm gonna pay them $400, $500 a month, and they tell to me that we'll figure it out on the go. You'll what? Why? Like you should already have it sorted. If you are gonna figure it out on the way, what makes you think that I cannot figure it out on the go because I have more money than you? What you are making in an entire year, I'm making that in a month, and we'll figure it out on the go. How does that thing works? You would think that your client is the macho man and that person doesn't have anyone above them. This might be true if you are working directly with founders. If you are working with a team and you have a marketing manager, that marketing manager has to answer to somebody who is above them, the CMO. The CMO has to answer to the CEO. The CEO has to answer to the other stakeholders, the board members and stuff like that. So even if you don't see the timelines, there are always timelines. With direct founders, that's never the thing because you are working with the owner directly. But if you are in departments, you just can't have vague timelines. You will be just thrown out in the first discussion only for these vague timelines. So never try to be that much flexible. Just say that I have these kind of hours that it takes me to get this kind of work done. So this is my turnaround time. If something needs to be done, at the very max, I'll get it done in 2 days or 3 days or based on whatever your profession is. The fifth one is over assurance instead of clarity. When you say to me, like if I'm your client, you are the freelancer, we are on a call and you right now decided to say to me, I've done this many times, I've got this covered, I'll take care of this. Nice. Okay. How? What you don't understand is we are interacting for the first time or maybe for the third or fourth time. I don't have enough data to make my own baseline in my head that I can put you in one of the two categories that I have in my brain. The two categories are reliable, unreliable. You are in the middle ground right now. I don't know if I can fully rely on you. I also know that you are not that much unreliable. But when you say these things, you assure me again and again that you have got this covered. I start to wonder, like, you really have this covered? If you say it once, that's enough. But even in that one time, I need it to be backed up by this thing. Like for example, say we are talking about a graphic for my YouTube. We are talking about a YouTube thumbnail. And I tell you a certain thing that I need this element here. I want this kind of graphic and this is the initial draft that I've put across. And you say to me over and over again and again, every time we are communicating and I'm telling you something, you say like, I have done this many times. I have done this for this XYZ person. I know what I'm doing. I've got this covered. Don't worry about it. You will have it in the deadline that you gave to me. I have this all sorted out. On your side, you are doing good. On my side, what I really want to hear is that I am never gonna say directly is, I have done this thing multiple times. You gave me this set of hours and I will make sure that I cover up everything that you mentioned in your requirements and make that graphic exclusively tailored and customized based on the insights that you provided, and I'll share it across in the next 24 hours. And after that, you go through it, you tell me what you like or not. If you like it, we will move ahead with it. If you don't like it, you tell me whether we need to make changes or we need to come up with a new one. See the difference. One side, you were just telling, I have got this covered. Second side, you told it, I have got this covered and this is how this is gonna go. And in case it goes south, I have got that covered too. And how I'll get that covered. We'll either make the changes or we'll redesign another one. I am happy now. So this is sorted. Now here's the important part. Out of these 5, any one is enough to call the deal off. And most freelancers, they have 2 or 3 or 4 or even 5 of these things. And then you wonder what's going wrong. Because from your side, you did everything right. Well, you did everything right until I came here, and now you know that what you were not doing right because you never thought about the client psychology, because you have not encountered that kind of clientele. But once you do, it's hard to make these same mistakes. And I am pretty confident that after this, you are not going to make these same mistakes because now you know how the other side thinks. And you will adapt yourself according to that and get this thing over with. And once you are off the call, then what happens? The client didn't felt bad or they were confused. No, the client didn't feel safe enough with you. They didn't got the answers. So what they do? They go around in the market, they lurk around, they get on other calls, and then they go with someone who makes them feel safe enough and predictable enough that they decide to close the deal with them. Now, if you take this thing personally, you're never going to succeed. What you should take these things as, whenever your call doesn't go well or whenever any client doesn't get closed, or you are in a situation or you are in a place where you feel like, what the hell is even going wrong here? You should sit down, don't take it personal, make it factual, think of things why it went down the way it went down, why the outcome was not in your favor. So all these are the signals that you need to pick up. And that's why Signal is such an important element of the global trust ladder. That is my personal framework. It's a 6-step process, and Signal is the first one. So you need to pick out these signals and make your signals strong, and get strong at picking signals as well as emitting signals through your profile and your work. Now, just a little bit about GTL, the global trust ladder. Like, it is my personal framework, and I help freelancers who are in the 8 lakh to 12 lakh per annum range get an international client in 6 weeks, and I make sure that that client is at least an $800 retainer. And once you have that, it's sorted. If you want to know more about the global trust ladder and stuff like that, so you can follow me on my LinkedIn. I'm actively posting there. You will find the information there, or you can DM me over there as well. So if you're watching and you felt like, yeah, I have seen this happen, I myself do this thing, so this is your sign. Fix it all, and I'll see you in the next one. Till then, do follow me on LinkedIn, and we can have a chat over there as well. Take care, and bye bye.